Right. Well, then we're going. This is episode
Going
number
on.
3, take 2. And welcome to the podcast, everyone. The host with the most, Taylor Johnson, Darren Malley,
Yes.
Fraser Kelly. So yeah, welcome back to episode number 3. I have been instructed to tell everyone that to check out the YouTube channel, to subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But yeah, let's just get to it. So I believe the plan of action today is to go over kind of the ins and outs of kind of picking a coach, what to look for, what not to kind of go with. And then that'll probably carry us on quite a bit. And then we will talk about the kind of stereotype or the stigma attached to AAS use or anabolic use. So yeah, who's wanting to get us going? I think Darren's, is that all right if we get going with you? Because you'd obviously...
Yeah, by the way, Darren.
Yeah. First of all, how are you both? Let's chat about that before we dive in. I'm getting on.
No, bad.
We're not eating. We've decided no longer no eating on the podcast.
Drinking's fine.
Even though we're all bodybuilders, and we need to eat every 2 hours. So
Mate, we're 30 seconds in. I'm already Hank Marvin. I'm starving.
So we've all tactically timed our meals. So I think we're good for the next hour at least.
I'm sure there's going to be some sickos out there that like watching us eat, though.
Yeah, like you said yesterday about wanting to like
That was so
watch.
weird, mate.
Oh, yeah, to provide some context to that, I just can't be the only person that does that. But I find during the latter stages of prep, you become quite food focused, and I would sit while I was eating and just watch people eat.
Yeah,
It was weird, and it was always like junk food. It was never like gonna watch this guy eat chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Only thing I've ever done in prep was watch food challenges, and then you would see someone eat something that you really want, and then they get to the point like, I can't eat this anymore, and you're like, yeah, I don't want to eat that anymore now. It just makes them look sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, in fact, to be honest with you, I say we just say fuck it. I think we should tell people this is the second take of this episode because yesterday we did
said it twice, mate.
Yeah, people might not fully grasp because it was all over the place, boys. So we're trying to deliver 110% here. So I hope everyone appreciates it. It's not an issue for us though because we're all buys and we enjoy.
There was a lot of interjecting going on. The topics got a bit heated.
We did.
We had our first podcast fallout, which is cute.
Hey, but you know what? Mate, we're back stronger than ever.
Exactly. Only took us 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, you never
was talking about racial terms non-stop.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, getting pretty upset. But hey, you never know. Episode 4 could look completely different. We might have another Darren. We might have
I might be fucking booted from the podcast.
Another Kurd. We're taking applications.
I feel like it's going to be hard to find, especially in Glasgow anyway. But
Southside, no chance.
But yeah, so topic 1 was just going to be why you should have a coach, what to look for in a coach. So I can just kind of kick it off straight away just by saying, for me, one of the main benefits of having a coach is accountability. So accountability, if you don't really quite know what that means in terms of coaching, what we mean is that you've now got somebody to hold you accountable. So having somebody to hold you accountable to your goals, you've now got somebody that you need to check in with every week. You need to answer to someone. I can't stress how important that is and how beneficial that is. Like, if you've never had a coach before, it's something that you won't fully be able to understand. If you have had a coach, then hopefully you'll know how much better you were when you had that coach, because you've got that person to answer to. So that's my kind of main thing that I want people to know, especially if somebody's maybe considering. There's obviously tons of coaches out there, plenty of good coaches, plenty of bad coaches. But if you've never had one and it's something you're contemplating, I strongly recommend doing it. I'm not trying to suggest go with me or Fraser. You go with whoever you, or Taylor, soon to be. But if you feel like it's something that could benefit you, I strongly recommend you try it. And then as soon as you try it, you will then see, fuck, this is actually keeping me accountable. Like, I just know from all my experiences, like, if I look back in my bodybuilding career, my bodybuilding career has been like a roller coaster. Obviously, I'm not perfect. My career certainly hasn't been perfect, but I've had plenty of times where I've let myself slip and I've let myself get out of shape and I've gone off the rails and stuff. And every time I look back at that career and I looked, when did I have a coach and when did I not have a coach? I've always looked my best when I've had a coach, and I've always looked my worst when I've not had a coach. So the proof is in the pudding there for me. Like, I had a kind of epiphany moment to realise that I know I'm always going to be at my best when I've got a coach. And I think that's something that should be very relevant for people listening.
Yeah, I definitely think that if you want to get into the best shape you've ever looked in your life, you're going to have to do something that you've never done before. And accountability is going to be one of the biggest aspects of that you're going to have to look at. And if you aren't a person that can hold themselves accountable, a coach is just, don't even think about it, get one. It's an investment. It's not a case of like, oh, I'm just getting a PT that's going to put me into shape. You will learn loads and loads and loads that you'll be able to implement later on in life, depending on what coach you get. Avoiding things like Herbalife and stuff like that. I mean, we will all slate that because it's just pyramid schemes and it's not health, it's not proper nutrition.
Yeah.
If you go to someone that knows what they're talking about, you will learn life skills and life habits that are something that will keep you healthy. Because anybody, regardless of your goal, we will all say that health should always be a priority. Like we always comment on it, regardless of whatever we're talking about. Health markers are always important. Whether that be like, as we talk about, like steroid use, but just general people, you should always be prioritizing your health. And that's why having a coach can be beneficial. You will learn really, really good habits. And
obviously we're kind of looking at it from a competitive standpoint, but do you guys still think that there is a place for Gen Pop just for kind of everyday people to have a coach? Because like you were saying just there, Fraser, obviously the importance is on health, and people, you know, obviously a lot of people tend to go by kind of government guidelines, which for the majority of the time is kind of understated, I would say.
Some of the stuff the government hits out with is what people should be focusing on is just utter shite. I don't know where they get that information from.
But for me, I think that, you know, obviously as a competitive athlete is a must. But even the benefits that it can have if you're, you know, like Tom, Dick or Harry, just not a type of person that wants to feel better than himself, because the repercussions of a poor lifestyle will cut your lifespan by years, mate. You know, and it'll totally change your attitude towards life. You'll have way more energy. You'll have more energy. You'll have better sex drive. You'll look better. You know, you'll just be clearer.
So let's face it, we all want to be shagging tens.
Exactly.
That's no body for shagging tens.
Oh, right.
But no, like it's a good thing about having a coach as well. It's going to avoid having you down the route of like fads. If you get a good coach, you can have something that is sustainable to an extent. You want to push into the best shape, as you're not going to be doing stuff that will be maintainable for a long time. You'll have to go into a difficult phase and then reverse out. And when you reverse out, that's when you'll be able to hold as good a look as you possibly ever could.
Yeah.
You need to earn it. You do need to earn it. Yeah.
And kind of going back to, obviously, I'd asked Darren to start it off, and I was kind of hoping to get a bit more information out of how you kind of started to kind of get a coach. And obviously you mentioned there that you actually had more coaches than what I'd thought, and I was kind of wondering the thought process behind that and kind of what you now look for in a coach, because I think that's something that's so important, because people often just get caught up on Instagram and how many followers someone have and just assume someone's a good coach based on that. So I think kind of what would you say are the main things to look out for when picking what coach for you, or when picking a coach for you? It's fucking flies, man.
For me, a coach has always been somebody like I've always thought of, like all the coaches I've had throughout my life have always been like mentors to me, and they've been like mentors to me like outside of the gym, like as well. Like I've always known that in order for me to succeed, I've always kind of understood the value of a coach, because if you look at like every single athlete in the world, Michael Jordan had a coach, Muhammad Ali had a coach. If anyone who's successful has got a coach or a mentor, yeah, like somebody who's pushing them. So for me, one of the things I don't like is if I would hate to think that a personal trainer or a coach or an athlete would ever think, I know how to build muscle, I know how to lose fat, I don't need a coach telling me what to do. Like, for me, that's the most dumbest, like, narrow-minded mentality in the world. Like, I don't think there's anyone in the world that wouldn't benefit from having a coach. Don't get me wrong, obviously there's certain people that might be hard to work with, or they might be really stubborn. But yeah, like, that's just a wee kind of pet hate of mine. Like, people that try and brag about not having a coach. Like, I've seen that on Instagram, like people saying self-coached, and it's like, I just kind of look at it and think, you're missing out if you're not got a coach. That's not something to brag about. Like, that's just my opinion. I just feel like that's a fucking stupid thing to say, like, or brag about.
Different with coaches in that aspect. If we're talking about a competitive athlete in bodybuilding to a generic everyday client, that's two very different kind of attitudes to have, I think. With a competitive client or an athlete, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think it's stupid. Like, you get to points in prep that your mind starts doing all sorts of tricks, and we look back and you even, like, there's weeks that I've been like, oh, I'm like, I should be doing this or I should be doing that, and then you goes, no, you should. And you're then after prep you look back and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah.
So when you get to that later point in prep, you can't trust yourself.
Yeah.
You need a second.
Mate, I seen a boy that kind of threw over an end run.
No interjecting me.
I know, man. I know. Fucking shut up. But like, he started off in a fantastic position, and I didn't say anything. I thought, this guy's going to absolutely dominate, because he started in the best possible position he could start. A prepping, food was high, and he was lean. He was generally, he had lines through his glutes, and I was like, this guy's going to fuck shit up. But after like the 8-week out mark, nothing changed. You know, nothing changed, and then all of a sudden you see less and less on social media. But that's just because the pressures come to you, because, you know, your body goes to like a fight or flight state. You know, your body's going to find the easiest way out, and your body's still going to find the easiest way out, even though you're trying to convince yourself that this is still the right thing to do. You know, so it's almost kind of seems like a bit of a, you know, it just totally fries your brain when you're trying to do something like that, and it makes no sense. And, you know, and it's always the people that, at least, especially when you go further down the line, those ones that are kind of self-coached, that it kind of catches up to them, because they're not making the kind of rash decisions so close to a show, or even like shoots, or even just like when they're trying to just get a bit leaner. You know, they can sometimes either push too much or pull back, and I think that's the value in a good coach in itself, is actually having a good pair of eyes that can understand what your physique looks like when it's depleted and what it looks like when it's on point. Because personally, I'm starting to get better now, but I know that for the first kind of year into it, I always just thought it looked the same, and I didn't really understand kind of the influence food and kind of expenditure had on your physique, you know, and kind of what looks worn, what looks flat. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a while to kind of grasp those things, and when you've got a good pair of eyes, like we've all had, it makes it so much better. And like referring back to what you said, Fraser, you learn so much. You know, it's more than just a coaching investment. You know, and again, Darren made a fucking great point. Like, you look for a mentor. That's exactly that's what I got from Andy. And like I said, I look up to him so much. I owe so much to him, because, you know, he really is the root, I would say, for like the passion I have for this sport, because he kind of summed it all up really well, and he just conducted himself so well. And I was like, shit, I would love to be like that.
Yeah.
You know? So, and that's kind of leaning on to the issue that I had just now with the coach that I went to Andy from is that I just didn't, he was a really good competitive athlete, and he was a good coach. I was seeing really good results, but I just didn't have that I just didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it.
What would be the difference between a competitive athlete and then a normal person? Talk about just a normal everyday person that's looking for someone to coach them through, say, their first ever diet or a diet for a holiday or something. Then what would you say what differences would you say you'd look for in a coach then?
I would say the specificity of it, the detail. Like I've been saying, is I'm in a position where I'm looking to optimize everything. I want to be in control of it. I want to make sure that every variable is being, is to a point, is perfect. There can't be anything out of place. All health markers have to be on point. Biofeedback has to be biofeedback in like energy, all that sort of stuff. It has to be on point. Whereas I feel like Gen Pop, they're just kind of looking to get in and out as quick as they can. Really, they're not really that fussed about eating whatever they have to eat. They're just going to do it, get it done, catch you there. Yeah, that's what I would say. What about you, Darren?
I just wanted to touch on experience levels. So if we're talking about something like to give people an idea of what they should look for, I think experience is definitely obviously important. Somebody who either walks the walk or they have walked the walk before. So
yeah, no one likes an out of shape PT.
Yeah, that's like, it's one of my things. Like, I mean, who do you think you're going to benefit more from? Somebody that's been training for a year or somebody that's been training for 10 years? Like, think how much more mistakes that person's made that's been training for 10 years. They'll have done things, they'll have tried things, they'll know kind of more what works best and all that kind of stuff. So I usually like to say, you wouldn't go to a homeless man for mortgage advice, would you? So why would you?
How'd you come up with that one?
Because he's fucking not got. He obviously doesn't have a. You know what I mean?
Like, well, I know what you mean, but it's just that was totally the opposite of what I thought you were going to say, man.
They're like, you wouldn't ask for fucking mountaineering advice from a guy who's never ever climbed a mountain and just read books about how to climb a mountain. Do you know what I mean? The person who's actually fucking climbed that mountain is going to be able to guide you better. Like, why was that so funny?
It's comparing it.
I know.
Totally blindsided me, that one, man. You never know, mate. There could be some well-educated homeless people.
Yeah, that's true.
Financial crisis hit pretty hard.
Yeah, that's just obviously, for me, that's just like a pet hate, like a personal trainer or a coach who barely even trains themselves. Like,
you're your own walking advertisement.
Yeah.
And what does it when you're it really says about kind of like if they're telling their clients what to do but they can't implement it themselves, then when you're looking for adherence and stuff like that, it really says a lot.
Yeah. But when we say this, I think we mean like coaches on our level, you're not talking like Chris Acetos and Neil Hills. Like they've done the time,
That's what I said about, like, they've been there at least and done that. Like, that which is what you were meaning. Like,
are there any coaches that have just done competitive coaching? Not that there has been.
I can think of one.
Who? An actual coach, like a big coach.
Yeah.
Who's he work with?
Can't remember his name.
Who's he work with?
It'll come to me.
Right, I'll probably just.
The thing is, like, all these guys like Chris Aceto and like Patrick Tour, like, people would maybe look at them now and think they don't look like they've got a good physique. Like, how are these guys telling people how to do shit? But if you look back at photos of them when they were younger, they fucking walked the walk when they were younger. So it's not all about how you look right now. But for me, the point I was trying to make there was, like, personal trainers and coaches these days, like in terms of, like, in Glasgow, I mean, me and you, Fraser, we know fucking loads of PTs that we know they're not fucking passionate about what they do and why the fuck are they PTs.
We keep talking about like big level coaches and big advanced bodybuilding. Like they've got the science and they've got the knowledge to back it up, and they'll be trusted, and the evidence and the transformations is proof. But your general like day-to-day PT that you'll go down to your local gym and stuff like that, if they're out of shape, it really says a lot about their passion for what they do, in my opinion. That's if you're a general client is looking for a PT or someone to give you advice, I wouldn't be compelled to go to the guy that's out of shape, because it does say a lot about his methods, his adherence. Don't get me wrong. There might be reasons like God, like what a PT that was in a car crash 6 months ago and has been like stuff like that. Fair enough.
I've got an underactive thyroid. Got an underactive thyroid.
Aye.
And I'm not saying that a personal trainer and a coach should have a shredded six pack and massive 20-inch arms. Like, it doesn't matter how big or muscly the coach is.
Look as if you could be able to do a burpee without getting out of breath.
Yeah, like
I could do a burpee without getting out of breath.
That's you, you fucking dick.
I feel that was the worst example.
I don't know if I can do those.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Do one right now. Just check.
Yeah. We should all demonstrate a burpee right now on camera. Fuck that.
Well, I've got my back, mate, issues. Like.
Oh yeah, and I've my injury. Like, I've got a.
My bobby's too big.
So, all no cock.
I know. All fart, no poo, mate. All no cock. So, what would you say? 5 take homes. What would you look for in a coach then? So, let's get 2 each.
I would say definitely someone that you would relate to, or be able to get on well with personality-wise. Like coaches will find that, well, we all find that we have clients coming to us with like personal information, because when you're a coach, you get so involved in people's lives with obviously like giving them diet advice and stuff like that. You will get people that will tell you stuff that sometimes you're like, don't know if I'm qualified for that, but you just need to listen to it. So someone that you'll be able to get on well with, I would say, is a massive aspect you'd feel comfortable talking to. If you don't feel comfortable talking to by the end of a consultation, I would maybe consider looking elsewhere. Because it might just not align up. Because if you're going through something and then say something like that week happens, like you go off plan and you're like, oh, I really don't feel comfortable talking to them about this as to why, it can create a whole load of issues.
And people have to remember that you're paying someone for a service, you know what I mean? Like it's the exact same as any other service. You know, if you're not happy, you're not like obligated to go with that coach.
Yeah.
No one's sitting there with a fucking gun, be like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. You're going to pay me 150 quid a month and this is what's going to happen. If you feel uncomfortable, tough shit. You know, like that's, I think for me, a lot of people don't do the due diligence in that sense, is that they just hop on because X, Y, and Z is being coached by them without actually thinking it through. And I feel like, you know, I personally did jump the gun with my previous coach, definitely. Not Andy, with Cuba. People probably know I've been coached by Cuba, but, you know, I just didn't kind of connect with him. And you're not, at least for me, why I worked so well with Andy is I wanted to do well for him. I wanted to make him proud. I wanted to do like Team AMS well. I wanted to kind of do this shit. Whereas if you don't have that, if you don't feel like that, you know, you're almost kind of selling yourself short. Yeah. Because sometimes when I'm training, you know, I'll set myself up and I would be thinking, okay, I would almost imagine that Andy was sitting there watching me, you know, and I had to do it, you know. So it was almost just like that little bit of extra incentive, you know.
So we've all been coached by Andy, and we all have a relationship with him that we can like obviously tell him stuff like that too, but he also can like say shit that will like just a wee thing and you'd be like, oh fuck, and then that'll just give you a boot up the arse. And that's obviously something you should obviously be able to look for in a coach as well, but that's
honesty,
be able to get on with them, to have that relationship to progress well.
Yeah. Yeah, you basically just said it there, but I was just going to say, like, honesty. So a coach that can be upfront with you and just the job of a coach isn't to like sugarcoat things and just tell you, oh, you're doing so amazing, you're doing so amazing. Like if you're not doing amazing, the coach needs to be honest with you and to be real with you. Like for me, that's a big thing. Like that's why I'm with Cornelius just now. One of many reasons is he's very fucking brutally honest with you, which is what you need, or what I need anyway. Like some people obviously don't quite like that, and that's fine. But a coach that can be honest with you, and somebody who personally inspires you and who kind of motivates you. So you've basically said that as well, Taylor, about Andy.
Yeah.
But like, for me, I would always go to a coach, somebody who I look up to, somebody I maybe aspire to be like. It doesn't mean to say that, like, if you're a female and you've got a male coach, I want to be like that big, massive 300-pound monster. But
Wow, Bobby.
that big 300-pound monster with the bobby might inspire you, which is fine as well.
I was gonna say, mate, if you take it, if you want to go down that path, just take a shitload of tests and you'll be sprouting a wee Bobby.
There you go. I know.
Wee big Bobby. I think. Would you say that Cornelius is like that? Is kind of Cornelius has the same relationship with you than he has all your other clients, or do you think that he can tailor his approach from client to client? Because obviously, a lot of people might not know, but how long have you, on the grand scheme of things, you've known Cornelius for what, like 10 plus years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say that he treats you differently? Because I was really I was pretty happy with how he responded to our previous video, because there was some back and forth. You know, and he explained it. You know, and I'd seen he's actually launching like a WhatsApp page.
Yeah.
Basically, he's collaborated all these different people in different fields. And I think it's actually a really good idea, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is.
That's probably only going to be utilised for coaches, and it's probably for coaches by coaches.
Yeah.
Which I think is a great idea. It just shows you like the wealth of knowledge that these guys have.
Yeah.
But it almost seems like the relationship that you have with him is pretty happy-go-lucky, you know?
Oh yeah, like that. I mean, I can't speak for Cornelius and the rest of his clients, but I just know that I've definitely got a unique relationship with Cornelius. Like we can call each other pricks, and like I can call him a fucking Mongo or whatever. Like, and he's a kind of same. Like, it's just that kind of.
Because you are a prick and a Mongo, but.
I was like, why does he keep saying that? I don't understand.
There is that mutual respect there, though. I mean, you're not just being
1,000%, yeah.
You're not just fucking ripping into him. You're not just like some submissive slave that
just
pays for abuse, you know? Like,
yeah,
there is a give and a take, and I think that is.
But sure you go for someone on OnlyFans or something like that for a service like that, if that's what you're looking for.
I know.
That's maybe another good one for what to look for in a coach. A coach who's got a bit of fucking like someone who's got a bit of fucking banter and a bit of fucking realness to them. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know about yous, but I don't want to go to a coach who's just like a fucking robot. Like for me, I feel like I would never go to Jordan Peters, you know, JP.
Yeah.
Because I've seen he's coached Anne-Marie before, so I've seen how he.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he was Anne-Marie's first ever coach.
What?
And I've seen how he coaches, and he's just such a fucking robot with no fucking empathy or anything. Like, I feel like if you've got him as a coach, you're getting coached by a robot, basically. You're not getting coached by someone who's got feelings and who's understands when things might go wrong, and he's just just a stubborn robot. Like for me, I would never go to that because I want to go with a coach that I can have a bit of banter with as well.
Yeah, fuck that, man. I'd find that horrible. Because especially see sometimes where you're feeling, oh, for fuck's sake, man. We had rules set out and George just violated one.
So unprofessional.
Mate, he's getting booted, man. You know at the start I said that there'd be the potential different Taylor, potential different Darren. We'll get another Fraser, man. It'd be a lot easier to replace him than it would be to replace us.
Definitely.
But going back to what I was saying, I think that you did make a good point though, because there are certain people that do look for that, and that just comes down to specificity of what you need to kind of write down what you're looking for. You know, you're not
Yep.
looking for a relationship. You're looking for like a good relationship. You're looking for X, Y, and Z. You know,
Yep.
and again, it all just contributes to what are you looking for. And I think that I had no idea Anne-Marie was with JP. If for anyone doesn't know, Anne-Marie's Darren's missus. And she seems to be. I mean, she's in some nick just now, man. She's definitely like seems to be doing well with her.
Anne-Marie's been with like every fucking some of the most well-respected coaches in the UK. Like,
and who's she with now again?
Wendy McCready.
Oh yeah, she was one like the whole like with an IFBB or something, wasn't she?
Yeah, Wendy's like the Anth Bales of the female world. She's so fucking cool and hardcore. Like,
I think
such a badass, man.
I think that actually the point that we touched on yesterday, but I think it's actually a good point to drill in to people is the fact that it's not a bad thing that Anne-Marie's had like several coaches. You know, she's trying to find what fits her.
Yeah.
And the only way...
Wow. Like going to different coaches, you'll learn different methods, what works for you, different approaches you can apply for clients. Because there's not one way fits all.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, you know, I recently had a conversation with someone yesterday or a couple of days ago, and it just basically called me like I was hopping from coach to coach. And for me, it kind of pissed me off a bit because I was like, well, why the fuck wouldn't I like try and find the best that's for me if I'm wanting to get to an elite status?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I settle for anything less? It's not going to put me in a better position.
You'd also like went through a 2-day panic phase of like, oh, I don't know, because you were on his waiting list for 18 months or something like that.
Yeah.
And it'd been a big thing you'd wanted to work with him. So when it happened, you're like, oh, I don't know what to fucking do. So we can vouch for you because our WhatsApp was fucking pissing and blowing me and Darren off because they're like, oh,
like the thing that caught me was because they're both great coaches, but I was making progress. I was making really good progress with Cuba. You know, my strength is probably almost at peak strength. I'm natty as hell right now. Obviously, I'm still rebounding off the prep. But you know that, and my body composition is fucking ridiculous right now. You know, I've actually, considering the damage that I did post show, I fucking reined it in rapid.
Yeah.
You know, and that's and I think that was probably the conflict is you're doing well with this guy. Why would you fuck up? But that was again going back to the kind of first point is that you have to have that like relationship, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I'm not going to pay what I was paying, you know, for a service which and there'll be people that love him and they get on so well with him, but I think that I looked for what I had with Andy, which was you know, a mentor, a friend, you know, someone that was providing me knowledge. And I wasn't even asking Andy for some certain things. He would just explain it. He was like, this is why you're feeling like this. You know, you become, as you progress through prep, your body becomes better at partitioning carbohydrates, all that sort of stuff. I had no idea. It was just the wee bits. Whereas, you know, certain times it was, you know, a bit more of an effort to get that sort of stuff. So again, I'm just looking to get someone that's going to put me in the best position that I can grow as an athlete, as a coach, and generally as a person. And I just wasn't getting that. And obviously, you know, I'm starting with Callum Rashtrick from the Muscle Mentors, which I'm fucking buzzing for. I've wanted to work with him for so long, just because of the specificity that he can provide. And mate, I was going through the check-in sheet. It was like 33 pages. Fucking asking the most random shit. It was something to do with digestion, and then one of the points at the bottom was, "Is your big toe sore?" I was like, I don't even understand how that has correlation.
Yeah.
But you know the way it was done, I don't have a fucking clue, man. It was random as hell. But the detail that, you know, I've never seen anything like it before, and it's got me fucking hyped. Because like I said, you know, for people that don't know, I was with Andy for 18 months. Did my prep, and then I was kind of got to the end and I was just looking for something different. You know, he'd been my only coach. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. I still respect him. If anyone ever asks me how he is, I still fucking big him up, man. You know, because he's
just looking for more knowledge, like just a different source of knowledge. That's it. Like you've been talking to us about it for ages as well. Like it wasn't like you weren't happy with the service. It wasn't like you weren't like enjoying things. You just want to learn more or try a different approach and see what else you could do and see what suits you. And which is like, no one can blame you for that. He wouldn't even blame you for that.
And
he would have done the same thing as well at your age. Like when he was getting coached, he would have jumped looking at trying out different coaches as well.
Yep, and I think you have to be selfish in these situations though, because just because someone's calling you a fucking coach hopper, mate, James Hollingshead put up a video the other day, and someone said that James Hollingshead, he's an absolute rig of a man. He's a barrel. He's an absolute barrel. And he was saying that some guy said that, and he put it the right way. He's like, mate, like it's just like you know, I'm just like a chef. I'm just like tasting all the different things, so I know what suits me and what suits my style. And I'm like, mate, that hits the fucking nail on the head. People are too busy looking and thinking what other people are doing instead of worrying about themselves. And it's always those people that lag behind. You know, so I'll be over there with my 20-inch biceps being like, fuck you boys. And they'll just be lagging, you know? So you have to be selfish in these situations and you have to find the right fit for you. And again, like going over the points we did, you know, you have to obviously hold you accountable. Communication has to be on point, which is a big one for me. Obviously honesty, knowledge, and they actually have to have produced the goods in the past. Don't just go with what they say, you know, always kind of have an ask around, find out their current clients, their past clients, ask them questions, because no one's going to tell you.
Healthily, they have to have gotten these results healthily. I think people like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's an aspect if you're doing competing, yes, there's a point you will have to sacrifice health an aspect. You should always be monitoring it. But if it's a general client, hate these PTs that like, if you're just a general person, they just go like, well, 0 carb now for the fucking next 12 weeks. That is not good. That's not what you're looking for.
Mate,
and someone that will sacrifice your health for you just to get a transformation isn't what you want to be going for.
Fuck that. And 9 times out of 10, sorry, you were going to say something there, Darren. I totally.
No, on you go.
I was going to say like 9 times out of 10 though, if people are saying that they're being too aggressive in certain aspects, they probably are, because it takes a really, really big kind of push, a big change for someone to be like, holy fuck, this is much. Like people are gonna like remember Chad Nichols back in the day, man. You know, Chad Nichols, a lot of people, a really big bodybuilding coach, and there's a lot of controversy around him, just especially with the kind of supplement stacks that he was prescribing. You know, you've got the likes of like Flex Wheeler, what was that?
Just steroid and diuretic stacks, basically.
Yeah, fucking Flex Wheeler, Ronnie Coleman, Dallas McCarver. You know, fucking Flex was almost died with diuretics. You know, potentially someone said something about the blood clot being linked to something around that time as well.
Is he not that bad as well that like his athletes that did die, he didn't even go to their funerals?
Mate, I think it was just a lot of shit, you know, and I think that it's probably a combination of, you know, misfortune, but also just stupid dosages, which is, you know, you have to make sure that especially when you go down that route, you have to make sure that it's all kind of evidence-based work and they're not just throwing numbers, not just plucking up, you know, 300 deca, you know, 750 tests. You know, there has to be a reason behind it. And that's, I think, tying into my final point, which was the cost of everything. You almost think of it in like a tiering system, or at least that's how I kind of like to think of it, is that you pay for what you get. It's like a car. If you want to get a fucking wee shiter, you're going to pay pennies for it. But if you want a nice whip, you're going to pay good money.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same with any other service. You know, you pay for, you know, the knowledge, you pay for the increased communication, you pay for, you know, the results. You have to put your money where your mouth is in these situations. And this probably relates more to competitive clients than Gen Pop, because like I said, it's easy enough for someone just to work out your calories, okay, and then manipulate them in accordance, try and get you to lose weight. But when you get into the more complex aspects, that's when you really, really need to have the right pair of eyes on you.
Yeah.
Right, so let's move on because we've talked about that for fucking ages.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd kind of quite like to know a bit more about Darren's coaching history, because he'd had, I don't know if you're comfortable talking about it, but you obviously had 3 coaches.
I briefly touched on it. I mean, it's different to talk about coaching like I would say my first. I would rather use the word mentor. Like my first proper mentor in this industry was Robert Craig. Everyone knows him as Rab. He's the guy who helps Mags run the PCA Scottish.
Oh, right.
He owns Performance Gym in Kilwinning.
Yep.
Yeah, so Rab was my first mentor back in the day, like along with another couple of guys that were kind of teamed up with him, like Wee Man, Brian Harris, and like Ramsey and shit like that.
Wee Man. Is that not like a WWE wrestler?
Yeah, no. Yeah, Brian, but like, they were basically
Out of Jackass.
no.
Right, a jackass.
Yeah.
WWE wrestler.
Guy.
I thought that was the wee leprechaun that was Seamus.
Oh fuck, I can't remember what his name is. But yeah, like back then, it wasn't really. It would like check-in photos didn't exist. You didn't send your check. You would actually. I would get on a train and travel. I would get on a train into town, then a train from town through to Ayrshire. So I would travel for like an hour or whatever. Go and meet up with Rab in like in his gym and like do a fucking live strip down in front of them. Like just take off your clothes in front of these fucking guys who you're just trusting. And the gym that we had done this in was in the playground of a primary school. I know that sounds mental, right? But I would basically
You're putting yourself in a corner here, mate. You put yourself in a corner.
It's a corner I want to be in, and I'm comfortable being in. It's a gym.
Definitely on our register that we don't know about. That's why you were buying rooms.
A wee hardcore wee gym in the middle of Ayrshire called the Glen Cairn. And yeah, every Saturday you would just go there. Other people would travel, and you would just strip down. You would go through your posing.
Sounds like a big orgy.
And then they would just look at you and go, right, yeah, let's drop the carbs down to 300 grams, and they would just do their check-in right there in the face with you. It was quite weird, and then you would go away, and that would be you for a week. You didn't really keep in touch with each other, or like, again, it was back when the forums, so you would maybe go into the forums now and again, but you would just go once a week and just see the person and go through your check-in. That's obviously changed now, like obviously with social media and everything, but yeah, so I've had Rab, I've had Cornelius, I've had Andy, so
it's pretty cool that you can reflect back on and actually see the growth within the industry, though, because doing that now, man. I'd have to go all the way down to fucking like Worcester or some Worcester, wherever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Just do your check-in and be told, right, cool, take 50 grams of carbs off, see you later.
It just kind of, I think that kind of reiterates the fact that there's such a skill to it, though, and it's not, especially when you get to that stage where the variables become smaller and smaller and smaller. You know, you can only manipulate so much when your carbs are already like 100 grams.
Yeah.
So it does show you there's so much skill. I'm surprised you didn't just fax them. A carrier pigeon.
Send a wee pigeon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is mental to look back at like how coaching has evolved. In terms of like obviously like the position you're in just now, Taylor, like I think you kind of touched on it yesterday when you said about how fortunate you are to be coming up in this industry now versus back when I was, like things like blood pressure and all these fucking health markers, blood work. Nobody fucking I knew had done blood work. They didn't even know what blood work was because it wasn't really available. Now you've got companies like Medichecks, Youth Revisited, that you can get very fucking detailed, more detailed than what you would get at a doctor's, like blood work, so you can really keep on top of your health markers. So it's almost like if you fuck up your health in this day and age, you're really doing something fucking stupid. Like,
yeah. And if you're getting gyno, it's on you, mate. You fucked it yourself. Yeah. If you
we can do the game.
We'll have to do it at some point. But shit like that, like it's all manageable. And because the information that's out there, there's actually no reason why you can't, and there's no reason why your coach cannot prepare you for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because regardless of what whatever the supplement you're taking, you have no idea how your body's going to react at first. So if you don't have the protocols in place, you know, before, during, and after, then you're selling yourself short, I think.
That's definitely a wee alarm bell. Like, if you've got a coach right now who's advising you and telling you to take certain stuff and they haven't ever mentioned blood work, to me is a bit of a red flag.
Yeah. Because I remember before I got on my first cycle, you told me to get my pre-bloods done. And I think that's so valuable, just so you can manage everything around it. Because if you've already got elevated levels of estrogen, progesterone, they're only going to be exacerbated as soon as you jump on certain things. And everything's avoidable. You know what I mean? Like all the Chad Nichols stories that we're talking about, it's all avoidable. You know, and like you were saying yesterday, Fraser, you know, in a controlled environment, so long as you're controlling everything, you know, you can come out a lot healthier. And also just making sure that, and you know, you'll come out healthier if your coach does have the knowledge.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I covered everything. So main points to touch on was basically just the coach has to kind of obviously be like a role model, be personable, have a really good knowledge base. You get what you pay for, and
honesty.
Anything else?
Just the honesty. Coach who can be honest with you, be upfront.
Yeah. So should we go on to the second topic, which I think obviously we've been talking about this for probably about an hour. No, 45 minutes. So it's up to you guys whether or not we crack on with this final one, or we cut it short and we just have this as a 45-minute one. I'm easy.
That.
Do you want to just wrap it up and then we can?
Yeah. If any of you's got any like quick, basic, easy to answer like questions from Instagram or anything,
we could probably go over.
Yesterday, like obviously Cornelius commented in the previous video about volume, and I got someone messaged me asking when you would implement a high volume training.
Yeah.
Because for those who didn't listen to the last one or anything like that, we had a discussion about GVT and how I was saying I was going to stop and decrease my volume just because I wasn't recovering. But obviously volume can be dependent on person to person. You was just asking when you would do a more higher volume kind of training. For me, straight at the bat, depends on the muscle group. Like if you're training arms, you can do a lot higher volume arms compared to like, say if you're doing legs, I do prefer doing legs a lot lower volume. That can be such an intense session. What do you guys think?
I think just to play devil's advocate, I think legs can and should definitely have a lot more volume.
Yeah.
I personally don't quite think that low volume is the best approach with training legs. I think legs, I mean, I've certainly not got amazing legs, so you don't need to take my advice on this, but
I'll just bleep the whole thing.
I'm the same. I can hardly talk.
I've made the mistake of like, I don't think doing a 4, 5, 6 rep set on legs is going to be that beneficial versus like 12, 15.
I know, controversial.
Controversial there.
I mean, obviously,
I'm triggered.
Do your heavy sets, get that CNS stress and stimulation, but then I think the majority of the session should be filled with volume, like in reps. I think legs respond to higher volume.
So your quads are a mixture of type 1 and type 2 fibers. There's obviously 4 different aspects of your quad, each of which can take different kind of styles. So I think that the best plan of action, obviously we're kind of going off on a bit of tangent here, but I think it is quite important that people do know this when it comes to programming. There's no one right or wrong rep range. You know, hypertrophy. You know, there's a lot of literature which suggests that anything from 6 reps all the way up to 50 reps can elicit hypertrophy. I just had to, boys. My lingo's coming. I'm getting passionate.
Tickling your
It's
tiny.
hypertrophy.
I know, mate. Mate,
Do you want to explain to the viewers what that means, in case there's no scientists watching?
What's going to make you grow? What's going to make your muscles kind of break down and repair bigger?
Good man.
So it really, and I think Cornelius did make a good point. He commented, there is no right or wrong way. It's what you can. And it's the same with diet. It's what you can stay most adherent to.
Yeah.
And for me, I prefer the kind of low volume, high intensity approach because it suits my personality. I can get in and I can only do maybe 7 or 8 working sets.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you that the effort I put into those sets is more than what you would do across the full, or Gen Pop would do across their full session, with your 2-3 times as much volume. But I do feel like there is a need for a mix of everything, because personally I like to structure a workout around like 2 or 3 big lifts where I'd go pretty heavy, and then afterwards I would do more of like a pump style, or pump style, if you know what like fortitude training is, or a metabolic stress, basically, which just you fill the muscle full of as much blood as possible. Because I mean, people don't know there are 3 kind of mechanisms of hypertrophy. The first one is mechanical load, so actually the kind of time on tension, increasing the load. The second one is metabolic stress, and the third one is muscle damage. The muscle damage one, I think you don't really need to pay as much attention to. You do, but I think it's almost just like a byproduct of the first 2. Mm-hmm. I might be wrong. If I am wrong, please let me know, because this would help me a lot. But I would always kind of look to cover all your bases. Don't stick to one rep range. There is no right or wrong. Have a feel with it. See what feels best for you. And also go with what your body can tolerate. Because Fraser, obviously, with the GVT, if people don't know what GVT is, it's German volume training, which is just, how would you explain it?
I would say it's definitely more metabolic.
Yeah, it's a route to go down to achieve metabolic stress more than anything. Yeah.
But obviously you were struggling to train with that. You just found it was too excessive.
Because I would be doing like sets and deload sets, and then because we've got limited access to kit, I'd be doing kind of similar-ish movements, but then metabolic, and I wasn't recovering from it. So having knock-on effects into other sessions. So it's just a case of that I drop my volume down, and maybe add additional volume onto the certain exercises I was doing.
Yeah.
Instead of adding in 10 sets of 10 onto another exercise, and adjusting it that way until so I'm making sure I can recover. And so far, I've noticed that having a big difference already, that my strength is going back up quite significantly. Like adding on reps a lot. So, and I'm recovering. I'm not feeling as bad from sessions, so that's a positive.
I would say that that's something I actually have found from lockdown is, mate, I'm fucking falling to bit because my exercise selection is so limited. I'm doing the same things, and because I'm doing a push pull arms leg split, my arms are responding phenomenal because I've never done arms. I'm doing arms like 4 times a week, and they're fucking doing really, really well. But the repeat motion of like pressing heavy weight, squatting heavy weight, deadlifting is taking such a toll, and I cannot wait to actually get back into a gym so that I've actually got other options, because I've really only got like a barbell that I can load, and obviously I got plates and stuff, but my joints fucking hate me, mate. My body's screaming. I'm having to take a deload this week because this is the first time I've actually like felt like I'm kind of fighting it, because I don't feel like I should be in a position to deload with the kit that I've got and the weights that I'm using. Well, I've got quite a lot of weight actually, but I think that the reason behind that is just the repeat motion of the same thing, because usually you would have a rotation, doing like a push-pull legs type of split, whereby 1 week you'll do one set of exercises, and you'll do the other kind of rotation, you'll do the same movement pattern, just in like a different bit of kit. But it's fucking horrible, mate. I genuinely cannot wait. And I've been seeing that the gyms are maybe going to open down in England like the 4th. So hopefully we won't be that much long after.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm anticipating mid to end of July, but fuck knows, it's just all speculation.
Yeah, I'm fucking buzzing for it, man. It'll be so good. Can't wait to get in and actually.
It's when the gyms are going to open because we all don't have a fucking clue. By the
Yeah.
time, I was like, do you know anything? We don't. We're not fucking knowing information behind it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not a fucking clue. It's been a pretty good one though, boys. I think
Yeah,
it
I'm
was nice.
fucking well chuffed with that, man.
Yeah, it was like nice and precise. Definitely a fucking improvement on yesterday's session. That's
Yeah.
a couple of minutes. We can call it quits unless anyone wanted to kind of go over any kind of take homes or anything anyone kind of wants to say.
Yeah, just take home message would be, again, I just want to say, if you've not had a coach and it's something you're maybe curious about, I strongly recommend you try it. Again, me and Fraser are both coaches. Taylor's basically a coach as well. We're not trying to promote us as coaches. I would happily promote other people as coaches. I just want more people to realize the value of what we actually offer. And I feel like it's only one of those things that when you actually get a coach, you get into the best shape of your life and you're like, fuck me, this is so fucking beneficial. So if you've never had one, definitely try it out. Yeah.
Start small.
Yeah.
Start small, build up. You know, you don't have to go in.
Find somebody you feel like you can relate with. Yeah.
And that's us all. I mean, yeah, Fraser, anything?
Nope, all good.
Sweet. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Send episode number 3. As always, we appreciate it. No, man, it was good. It was short and sweet. Yeah, boy. Fucking size it. Darren's all about those angles, man. Can you do a Darren pose to finish off, please? Go on. Yes! what catfish, man. Someone's going to see you in real life and be like, this guy's...
No, be like, what the fuck, man?
I know. You know
how,
it's cause the Asian complex as well, mate. It just but thanks everyone for watching. The feedback's been so good. But of course,
thank you.
There's always room for us to improve. So any questions, mate, just fire them over. We've already got topics for the next couple ones set up.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone, and
stay blessed.
Catch you later, boys.